Recording.
Okay.
Okay, gonna let everyone in here. There we go. Hello, everyone.
Hi. I don't see other people. I see a photo
They're
of
going to start pulling up the
Kathleen.
audio and video here shortly.
Monica. Michael. Hello, Michael.
There you go.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hi, guys. Nice to see you over here. And then there's one person I don't see. Sheila.
Sheila, yeah, some of them don't have audio or video available, so they don't necessarily show up.
Oh,
With that,
okay.
let me see here what we've
That's
got
right, we're
going.
shy.
Oh, hi, Sheila. There you are. And then just so everyone knows, this is kind of a panel interview. We're going to just kind of discuss Musetta's work. And then if you have any questions here, you can certainly ask. I think you want to tell us about how you got into acting?
Okay. For those, I got into acting because I was born into the entertainment business. My mom was a ballet teacher. And so I, from a very early age, was on the stage as a dancer. So I danced most of my life, and from there it was just a natural progression into acting and modeling and music videos, and one thing led to another, and that's how I ended up, where I did, which is in film business and in Hollywood. So it was just a natural progression. I think if you're in the entertainment business or if you're creative, they all kind of go together. They're all various aspects really of the same thing. Whether you're in the, that's why you get people who sing, dance, and act. It's all part of the same thing. It's like, I mean, if you want to paint, you paint. It's just an expression of art and life, really.
What was your favorite dance style?
Well, I was classically trained as a ballet dancer. I'm a qualified ballet teacher. So it was definitely the most disciplined style. And with that foundation, you can do pretty much any other style of dancing. But when I was growing up, ballet, there wasn't much money in ballet. Most of the commercial work was on television or on a commercial, and they don't really use ballet. It's more modern dancing, jazz and stuff. So I ventured over into that world, and I left the ballet world. But I think ballet is fantastic. It's an incredible discipline, and it's quite challenging on your body, but it's amazing. And the techniques that you get, the foundations that lays, really carries through your whole life. I think anything that you do from when you're young sets a foundation for as you grow up that you can use, whether you use a piece of it or you continue to grow with it.
Yes. And then how did you end up working on the Stargate set and project?
How did I end up working on Stargate? Well, I auditioned, and I just got lucky. I got the job, and I like sci-fi a lot. I've always been interested in sci-fi. I like the limitless imagination you have with it. You're not pigeonholed into having to be a certain way.
Yeah.
You can explore a character and go far out, and you create the character. So I like that. To me, it's part of creating, because as an actor, I think a lot of times we are acting, because we're doing somebody else's dialogue, we saying the words somebody else has written for us. But when you and that's great. But when you get into a sci-fi role, you can take that a little bit further with how you interpret that. It's not like you're relating to a human, normal person.
Yeah. And so what are some of your upcoming projects that you're working on and current ones?
I've been doing a lot of different things. There's actually been quite a few online things going on. So I don't know, everything's kind of in a holding pattern. So I don't know what's going to happen from now on out, because everything's changing. But I have a lot of other things I do. I also do a lot of editing. I teach acting online. So that's actually very enjoyable. It's hard for me to watch these little kids, sit in their rooms and act and so desperate want to act. And, it's great that they do that. And they sit in front of the computer all day doing their homework, and then they join the acting class, you know, for another 2 or 3 hours. And my heart goes out to them because, you know, they so desperately want to connect and interact, and you know, that's what acting's about, right? You know, listening and answering, reacting, interacting. That's part of human life. So this is a very interesting experience to be going through, and to see how it's affecting people.
Yes, and I understand you're doing some Qigong online things as well.
I do. I've been studying and practicing Qigong for a very long time. I find it extremely beneficial. It has had a great impact on my own life, and it's helped many other people who were interested in learning more, you know, just to start them on their path. You know, everybody will gravitate to whatever seems to make most sense to them.
Yeah.
But it's a very empowering system of energy medicine, because I think that it's a very different perspective of looking at your body and looking at your health. And, you know, I think our body is amazing. We have an incredible human body. It is capable of doing amazing things. If you break a bone back together, if you cut yourself, it heals. You never have to think about taking a breath or beating your heart. If it was left up to us, we would have been dead a long time ago. So your body is your greatest ally, you know, and I think the way I look at it is very different from what we've been taught since we've been little, is that our body and our healing lies outside of us in the hands of experts who know more about our health than we do. And it's not that the experts are good or bad, it's just that your human body is incredible, and nobody knows your body better than you do yourself. You know how you feel. Sometimes you go to a doctor to say, I don't feel good, and they run all these tests and they say there's nothing wrong with you, and 6 months later you have a cancer diagnosis. So we are more than a physical body. We have an energetic body. We have an emotional body. We have a mental body. And all of these bodies have an impact on the physical body. There's a saying in Qigong that says whatever exists in the physical world first exists in an invisible form around you. And your emotions, your thinking, all of that, your energy levels, all affect the health of your body. Think about how you feel when you're depressed. It's a very contractive energy. It's a sinking energy. It's not a conducive to healing. Fear, it's a contractive energy. It drains you. You resonate at a lower frequency, a lower vibratory rate, where you enjoy, where you happy, where you have a freedom in a different sense. Your energy levels are completely different. You vibrate differently. You interact and relate differently. So it's like, think if you walk into a room and somebody's upset and crying, you immediately get affected by that. So our emotions heavily influence the health of our bodies. Emotions can be like a knot in the free flow of energy. It's not that you don't want to have emotions. You just don't want emotions to become trapped and stuck in your body and deviate the flow of energy. Because you got to think, I think the easiest way, and stop me if I'm going on too long, but the easiest way to think about it is nature. And there's this beautiful stream running through nature, right? It's pristine, it's running through nature. And then a storm comes, and these branches break off and rocks break off, and now the stream is going around the rocks and the branches and flowing. And then another storm comes, and then these branches break some more off another rock, and eventually now the stream's going like this, and a pocket of water gets isolated from the rest of the stream. And over time, this pocket of water becomes stagnant and becomes infected. And it's no longer healthy water, it's putrefied, okay? So it can't join the rest of the stream, and emotions become like that. When we store and hold on to negative emotions, it can deviate the flow of energy in the body and impact the healing. And there are external and internal things that affect this flow of energy in the body. Understanding energy healing is like having a manual about your health and your well-being that we never got. We got taught nothing from childhood at school about what your human body is capable of doing. And you are capable of doing amazing things. You have an amazing body.
And then you also have a website, Swimming Tiger, I believe, and
Swimming Tiger Qigong. I have a website called Swimming Tiger Qigong, and I also have an Instagram page called Swimming Tiger Qigong, which I just recently started. Especially in this time, I think a lot of people want If there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anxiety. And Qigong has amazing methods and techniques to help you with releasing fear, releasing stress, because everybody is afraid of what's happening. And this fear is not conducive to you healing. If you have so much fear and holding onto that, your energy levels are going to resonate lower, and you are going to see viruses and pathogens and germs around us and have been around us since the beginning of time. So what happens when you're really sick and a low vibration energy? You resonate lower, so you're more susceptible to get sick. Think about when you walk into a room and let's say there's a person that's got the flu, right? And we all walk into the room, but 2 or 3 of us get the flu and the others don't. Why is that? The energy field that surrounds the body on the ones that don't are stronger. They resonate differently, okay? That's known as the Wei Qi field. And this energy field, when it's strong and robust, it has more resistance to external pathogens.
Okay. Yeah. And then do you have classes online as well at your website?
You know, I don't have any online classes at this time. A few people have asked me, and I'm thinking of doing one. It would be free for anybody who would like to join it. I'm looking at potentially doing one on May the 3rd.
Wonderful.
If anybody would like to be part of that, just send me an email through my Swimming Tiger Qigong, and I'll send an email out when I'm going to do it. And I'll teach some very basic techniques you can help relieve anxiety and stress, and just methods you can use in your life on a daily basis. You know, it's changed my life. I had some serious stuff going on in my life, and they wanted to do surgery and cut open my neck and remove my the disc, because I have a 7.5 millimeter herniated disc, and they wanted to. I had a completely atrophied tricep. I could not lift a glass of water, and I didn't know what was going on. And one night, out of nowhere, boom, it shifted. I couldn't move the next day, and I didn't want to do surgery. I didn't want to have my spine fused because I could no longer. I would lose the range of motion. I could no longer put my chin on my chest, and I didn't know what the answer was, and I really didn't think that Qigong or energy healing could possibly fix this condition. I thought, that's insane. This is a bone. You don't understand. And I went everywhere to try an answer. I was diagnosed with scoliosis of the spine because my actual x-ray looked like an S, because the muscles had pulled the spine so far out that it was holding it in place, right? So I had gone to people who submerged me into pools with like this jock strap looking thing around my head, where they dropped me into a pool with a weight around my waist and like a weight between my legs to try and extend my spine to relieve the pressure between the vertebrae. I'm trying to go to a chiropractor who I thought I was almost going to die because they cracked my lower back. And when they got up to my top back, I instinctively knew if they cracked up here, and this is before I knew how extensive my disc had gone out, I knew that if they cracked, I probably won't be able to get up off that table again. And it took a lot for me to change my way of thinking, because I was so desperate and in so much pain. I could not sit still. I had literally had an arm that was like this the whole time. The anger levels in me was insane over this thing. I was crying the entire time, and there was just nobody that could help me. The only way that they could help me was to do surgery. They had inserted these long needles into my arm, all the way through my muscle, into the bone, and sent electrical currents through it, and came back with an atrophy diagnosis. And they said if I didn't do the surgery soon, I'd probably lose the use of my left arm permanently. And so I was fortunate to have been studying Qigong at that time, but I honestly didn't think that I could kill myself. I thought it was for some famous or wise old man in the mountains, you know, Chinese guy, meditated his whole life and it's been passed down through lineages. You know, it's definitely not something that I could do. But however, I started practicing Qigong because honestly I had no choice, and I was a very reluctant healer. Because I had no other choice, I did everything every day that my teacher suggested. And my teacher was very adamant that I do it myself. And one day, miraculously 3 months later, I woke up pain-free. I have complete range of motion back. I can do back bends, can do handstands, my strength of my arms back, my muscles back, all of that. So if I can do it, Who knows what else? Anybody can do it. I'm not any different than anybody else. And trust me, it was the last thing I ever wanted to do, ever thought I would be doing. So.
That's how it often works out.
And looking back at it now, I realize I had to go through it this way because otherwise I would never have, I would have thought, well, I've seen that guy who, can like, I don't know, whatever, do this or shrink that. And I just didn't think I could do it. So it was really a big awakening for me about what you are capable.
Yeah.
Each of us are capable of doing.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Musetta tonight?
Not that I can think of.
Where are you guys located? Where are you, Kathleen?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. And you, Anika?
I'm in New Jersey.
New Jersey. And Sheila? No?
Her
Mike, where are you?
She's muted.
I'm in Alexandria, Virginia, and
Oh, wow.
I sent you a private message about Qigong because the last time I saw you, I believe was GateCon, and you had a class, and it served me very well for years. Just stand and just drain the energy out through my arms, that kind of thing, my legs. It really had an effect, and it's very calming. So I just want to say thanks for that. So there you go.
Oh my goodness, of course. You did the standing like a tree class. Wow, well, that is so amazing. Yes, honestly, it's that powerful. It's that amazing. It just takes changing your way of thinking about things. I didn't hear.
I'm very centered from it, and everybody knows me, and I don't center. I'm constantly on the move, so it's kind of nice. No, yeah, Kathleen.
I know, yes.
You can't see that. Annika howling.
Well,
I'm sorry. I actually look at me. I'm sitting still now. It's amazing.
Quick, take a picture.
Oh, stop doing it. No picking on me. I'm watching you guys. I stay out of trouble if I can.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Well, it's so nice to see all of you here. Yeah, Michael, that is like a great. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, wow, that is a long time ago, and I'm so glad that carried through through all this time, because honestly, it's really that amazing. It's really a completely different way of looking at your health and your life.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Musetta, for coming on for the chat. We were so glad to have you for the convention. And then also for everyone listening, Musetta's interview will be up on the website tomorrow. And we're also releasing a YouTube channel for all the videos from the convention, Collaboration Comic Convention channel. And that should be up in a couple of weeks. So you can watch them on the website or on YouTube. But thank you so much. Oh,
sorry, I just want to add one more thing. For those of you who are interested in doing some Qigong exercise, if you have Instagram, I'm also on YouTube. It's under Musetta Vander on YouTube. I have all my videos there, although they're not in the sequence that I'd like them to be. They are kind of, but sometimes because there's so many other videos, it jumps. So if you go to the Instagram and you join the Swimming Tiger Qigong, you can start from the first exercise and then follow the exercises up sequentially. And on there is the 5 yin organ exercises, which are really good for just, first you're going to purge, and then you're going to regulate, and then you're going to tonify the energy in your body. They're very simple exercises. If you feel you can't do them standing, all the exercises can be adjusted seated. So for example, if you are doing this, for example, a lung exercise, instead of standing or kidney, you would just adjust and do the exercise from a sitting position. And if you guys are interested in a online Qigong class, I'm going to work with one. Just send me an email or send Onna an email, and I'll add you all to the list, or you can go to my Qigong website, send me an email through there. Make sure you put in there, because I sometimes get like spam email, and then I just ignore it. So say I'd be interested to do one of the classes, I'll try and set up a time, and then we can all log on, and I'll try and guide a session of a Qigong exercise for everybody. We'll see.
That sounds lovely. I'm going to log in to do that.
That would be wonderful.
Okay.
Count
great.
me in.
Okay, fantastic, Marcia. Where are you from, Marcia?
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and that's where Sheila is too. We're actually sisters.
Oh, wow. Okay. Gee, fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
yeah, and I'm also a licensed massage therapist. So what you're talking about, it sounds really interesting and might be something to add to my own practice, actually.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, and and in the meantime, an exercise you can all use, which is free and it's on my YouTube channel right now, is an exercise called Pulling Out the Pain Meditation. So if you do a search for Pulling Out the Pain Meditation, once you go to Musetta Vander on YouTube, and you'll see all the exercises. They just scroll down, look for Pulling Out the Pain Meditation, and do that guided meditation. It's excellent for relieving stress, all kinds of issues. And then we'll try and set up something where I will teach you specific exercise that you can do for anxiety, for fear, for all those kind of things.
And I'll include a link to that video if you like, Musetta, below this one, so people can.
That'd be great. I'll send you the link, Onna, and then just
perfect. And I can actually just embed it so that they can click right on the picture to view it there, right below your interview. So that'll be great.
Fantastic, fantastic.
So great.
Thank you so
We
much,
came for
Musetta.
Stargate and got Qigong. So thank you.
Well, if you have a Stargate question, you may ask. If you have any questions, no?
I wasn't thinking of that quickly enough. More than that, I just figured, well, Qigong's actually what I was curious about here. I've sent you a private message to you if you can see it on the group chat after, I don't know, but you got the email there. And otherwise, just
Okay, I got it. Okay. Yes,
Well,
likewise, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
get you
will.
on Facebook. If you
Well,
post
you have been.
on Facebook, I'll see you on Facebook because you got your page out there, and if you post those things there, I'll see it.
You know, I know I'm terrible with Facebook. I'm really bad with it. I have the Facebook page, the Musetta Vander page, and sometimes when I share like the Qigong videos, I feel maybe the people don't want to see Qigong videos, which is why I started a separate Qigong Instagram page specifically for that, because some of the people are like, why are you showing a Qigong video? Show a picture like this. I'm like, okay, feel the chi. So anyway, but reach out to me through my Qigong website. That's the easiest. And then also follow me on Instagram. I'm much more active on Instagram than on Facebook. Okay.
I'm not on
thank you.
Instagram, but I'll follow you anyway.
So nice seeing you all. All right,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Take care. Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Mikey.
Bye.